guys, welcome adventurers, it's Cressup here, and welcome to another episode of Indies in Depth, the series where I take a behind the scenes peek at the indie game industry with the people who work in it. And today I'm going to be talking to Dan Marshall of Size 5 Games. You may recognise some of his previous stuff that he did with another developer, Ben Ward. They've made games such as Lair of the Clockwork God, Been There, Down That, Time, Gentlemen, Please. All very witty, funny, talkative games without actual voice acting, which is why I get onto the game that Dan is making for Size 5 Games this time around, called Earth Must Die. Really pretty looking game with a massive voice cast. It's another point-and-click adventure game that he's making, but this time it has voice acting, and what a cast it's got. It's got the who's who's of British comedy, basically. Tamsin Greig, Starr, Alex Horne, so many people. So we talk a little bit about how he got hold of all this cast, what he's expecting from the game. The demo is out now, by the way, if you want to try it on Steam. And we talk about kind of what's next and when this game is going to come out. So do check it out. As always, I am on Twitch as well. If you want to catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Cressup. I do play a lot of indie games. I'm going to be playing a bit of Steam Next Fest demos at some point as well this week when this comes out. Maybe Steam Next Fest will have finished by then, but it might not have. So do check me out, twitch.tv/Cressup. I'll catch you then. So Dan, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you having a chat with me. How are you? Welcome.
Pleasure. It's nice to be here. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird time. It's a very strange time announcing a video game, and it's very odd how a day can just disappear without you just send some emails and then suddenly it's 6 o'clock in the evening and you just go, what have I done today? What have I achieved? I feel like, I feel like I've done my job if I fix some bugs or if I've added a new feature, but it's a very emaily time at the moment. Yeah.
Well, as it should be, because you've got a lot of people to chat to and speak to and all that kind of thing. Yeah. I think that the main thing, congrats on the announcement, because you really went there with the announcement. You were like, we're going big, because you've got this fantastic cast. Let's talk about that. There's a lot to talk about, but you've got so many people. You've got Ben Starr, Alex Horne, Tamsin Greig, Joel Fry. How did this all come about?
Well, we knew we were going to, there came a point where
question, but
yeah, I think we knew we needed to voice it. I think that was like the next step up we needed to do.
Because obviously Lair of the Clockwork God, that didn't have voices really, and
no,
I know that was kind of a decision on your part. But
we talked about it. I think we talked about it, and the two things about Clockwork God is it's a parody. It's a parody of like indie games. So having them sort of being a bit more minute chat text stuff,
Made
I
sense.
think worked better than voices. It was also going to be like colossally expensive to voice it, and
I assumed that was like one of the main reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we did with Earth Must Die was that we knew it was a good idea to voice it. Ben and I had worked with Alex Horne off the back of Taskmaster VR. We wrote the scripts of the Taskmaster VR game. And when we were recording the sessions, in the downtime, he said to me, like, what else have you got going on? And I told him about this game that we were we were very early, like, just talking about it at that point, about this funny idea about an emperor an evil emperor and playing the baddie sort of thing. And he said, that sounds great. Let me know if you want any voices doing for it or something like that. And that's probably not what happened. Probably I said to him, will you do me a voice? And he said yes.
Yeah.
Then like a year passed or whatever it was. And I dropped him a line. He was the first one who said yes, basically. He was the first voice that went in, because I knew that getting other people involved, like getting past the agents of other known comedians, would be a lot easier if I could just send a single email that said, like, Alex Horne's in it. Fortunately, so Alex Horne said yes, and then Alistair Beckett King, who is well known to the adventure gamers community, and is also now very successful comedian and stand-up comedian and author in his own right. So, but I've known him for many years, sort of on and off in bits and pieces. So I sent him a message and said, "Would you do my voice or two?" And he said, "Yes, he'd be delighted." And I sent him a list of people. I sent Alistair Beckett King a list of people that I really wanted in the project.
Okay, what as a sort of sounding board of like, do you think?
Do you know these people, and can you get me their email addresses? And he said that he knew Stevie Martin and Mike Wozniak quite well. So like very quickly, I had 4 people who were quite well known names, and I got Ben Starr through a sort of acquaintance of mine as well. So very quickly we had like 5 people, and then it started getting quite addictive.
Like, because, who else could I add?
Yeah, it was. We had 5 names, so I could email agents and start saying, "It's got these 5 people in it." You know, Alex Horne's in it, and Alex Horne is obviously currently quite an important man in the British comedy circuit.
Well, because has he done any, apart from obviously Taskmaster VR, and that kind of makes sense because he's associated with that, has he done any video game voice acting before?
He's
I was
not
quite surprised to see his name. I was like, oh.
I mean, he's incredibly busy. The thing about Alex is he's, and you can sort of, I don't put words in his mouth, but like, you can sort of tell from Taskmaster that he, I don't want to say he knows he got lucky because Taskmaster did a lot of hard work, but he's obviously very supportive of comedy projects and comedians. Yeah. Right? You can tell that, like, Taskmaster could have 5 A-list celebrities on it every season, and it doesn't. It has like 2 or 3 people you've probably never heard of that they can, and I think that's, I feel like that's Alex is doing. He's very supportive of that kind of, like using his status as a way of helping out a comedy talent, I think. I can't remember what we're talking about, but yeah, he was super good. He was super supportive and helpful and friendly. And off the back of that, we managed to get more and more people, and it did get addictive. It got to the point where I was like, we've got these people now. Let's see who else we can get. Who's our favourite? Who's working in the British comedy industry that I desperately want to work with?
Was there anyone you wanted who actually was too busy or you couldn't get?
Yeah, there were 1 or 2. There's there were a couple of people, I won't name names, but like there were a couple of people who like were doing plays or were in America filming MCU stuff. And they were like, well, they'd love to, but they're sort of, they've just landed a role in something massive in America, and you just go, oh, okay, fair enough. You probably don't want to do this then. But there were actually surprisingly few. Like, pretty much, we went to people and got a yes, because it was relatively like I don't know how to put it, but we had this sort of momentum going, I guess, and we could go to people and say like, this is really cool. Have a look at it. It's gorgeous. Helped a lot.
Yeah.
Really, really lovely art. We asked really nicely. We paid them. That helps, I think.
Yes, I mean that's.
So it was, but it was a thing where once we'd cast like 60-70% of it as all people whose work I loved. There didn't really seem any reason to stop there. Just to keep on approaching people. Let's see what happens. Keep on approaching people who I desperately wanted to just stand in a room with and go, look how it is.
Was there anyone who was a big surprise who did say yes, that you were like, oh, we're not going to get them, and then they were like,
all of them. Yeah, like they were, all of them were emailed with the assumption that we wouldn't get anywhere with them. But no, I mean, Don Warrington was, I assumed that would be a no.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he spends half his life in the Caribbean filming Death in Paradise these days. But, Don Warrington is I can't use the phrase comedy royalty lightly. He is comedy royalty. Like, he is one of the most important actors in the British comedy industry. So you send this email out, you just go, look at all these people who are doing this cool thing for us. Would he be interested in in coming in and doing a few bits and pieces for us as well. So yeah, that was the one that I was sure wasn't going to happen, but was just delighted. He was he is everything you want. They all were. They were all just everything you want them to be. That was the amazing thing. It was just everything I could possibly hope and dream for, from assembling a cast of amazing people and then getting to work with them. It was so good.
And yeah, in terms of that, I'm guessing a lot of it was done kind of online, was it, or like, you know?
No, God, no. I'm not taking the risk. I'm not getting in like amazing people and not going and shaking their hand. Right. The vast majority of it was done in London or Bristol.
Okay, great.
Because we hired out like proper recording studios and setup and stuff to get it all nicely done. And I don't want to risk it being done badly. So you get professionals in who know what all the buttons do on the. Yeah. No, we did it all face to face wherever possible. There are a couple that Tamsin Greig and Matthew Holness and Emma Fryer, I think. Like, I was gutted, but like those ones, sometimes you just, actual life is in the way. I've got a school run to do. This is really irritating. They're only available at 3:00 in the other side of the country, and I go, well, I'm gonna have to do it remotely, unfortunately. Which was gutting, because Tamsin Greig was so good. Tamsin Greig, actually wound up doing 3 characters for us because she was so good that she just nailed every line. I've never seen anything like it. She just absolutely...
She's great.
So, I don't want to say professional, because that sounds like she's wearing a suit or whatever, but just so incredibly good at acting.
Yeah.
Which, like, obviously she's incredibly good at acting, but she was just incredibly good at acting. And we got to the end, and I was like, I got a 3rd character that I need voicing. Will you do it? And she was like, yeah. How about, because she'd tried out for one of the characters. We discussed like the voice for one of the characters, and she'd said to me, I could do a really good North London barmaid, and I said, it's not quite right for this character, but it is very funny. It's very funny. And we got to the end, and I was like, can we do one more with that? She's in the demo. We're doing that voice. As the woman working behind the bar at the pub, the landlady, and she's great. And that was done like at the end of the day, just because she had just absolutely smashed it out of the park with all the other stuff that I needed out of her. She was so good. They were all.
And again, I don't think she's been in. Has she been in video games?
She's done quite a lot of voice acting work. As I understand it, for like cartoons.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Then
she's done bits and pieces. Well, she's done bits and pieces like that. But like, it was like nothing phased her off it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. She was very confident in her abilities, and rightly so.
And she smashed it. So fair play.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really exciting. I mean, you've got quite a roster of kind of British comedy there. Was there any concern that like this wouldn't translate to kind of America or elsewhere, or was it like, well, these are so many talented people that who cares really?
Strengths, don't you? Like we're British company. Yeah. Mine and Ben's writing style is very much brought up on The Young Ones and Red Dwarf, and all these sort of I don't want to say old classics, because that makes me sound really old, but like old sick BBC sitcoms, so it felt a bit disingenuous to be, the writing is very British, the sensibility of the comedy is very British. We got Julie Noki, who's a YouTube scale. I mean, that was one of the good things we did, was that, like, we got all these, we had the luxury of going to anyone, and not just people who have been on telly.
Yes.
But also going to people who are doing YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
And TikTok comedians, and seeing if they'll help us out and do bits and pieces. And like Sam O'Leary and Tom Lawrenson, who, if you've not seen their like
Lawrenson.
Gordon Ramsay sketch, he's so good. And he does this. He plays a tree for us, a sentient tree, and it's incredibly good, right? And Julie Noki plays. I needed an American voice. And I was like, how? Because there's a character in the game who is a sort of Fox News host parody sort of thing. So I needed an American voice, and Julie's Canadian, but It's
Close enough.
same thing. So, but again, it was a case of like I needed an American to voice this.
Yeah.
And just thinking, who do I really, whose work do I love and respect, and who do I think is really funny and engaging and can do this? And she was the first person that sprang to mind and said yes. So again, incredibly, just one of those things that. So that was another one I wasn't present for because I couldn't fly all the way to America to meet Julie.
No, that's fair enough.
Much as I'd have loved to, but couldn't do it for that one.
And then, so let's go into. I mean, I will say actually, in that case, judging by that, would your tip be for indie games that are considering branching out into voice acting, get that one person who everyone else is then going to.
First of all, I'd say don't do that because I've done it already. Like, have your own ideas,
your own thing, for God's sake.
Like, this is old hat now to assemble a cast of comedians. It is. Look, we had luxury of no more robots being involved, and we had the luxury of the games fund money and stuff. It was not easy. It was a lot of time on my side emailing agents because there's no one else doing it, right?
No,
and I'm
exactly,
taking time off coding the game to deal with agents and contracts and back and forth about, various boring things, booking the studio. Yeah. This horrible thing of, is the studio available? Is the talent available? Am I available? The right time. It is not an easy job. And I suspect it probably, from my time, it wound up being 2-3 months. That's before you even think about casting and looking for people and finding out who represents them and emailing and getting nowhere and all that sort of stuff. It's not an easy job. So I probably wouldn't do it again. It's a massive overhead. I would do it again. But I would urge caution over jumping at it because it's a financial issue.
Well, it's you've got such an extensive cast as well. I guess maybe It's
don't do that. Do one or two people.
Just get Tamsin Greig. She could just do them all.
Get Tamsin Greig to do everything, and you are quit in because she will bash through the whole thing in 20 minutes flat.
I'd love that. A one
woman Tamsin Greig adventure game. That is a good idea.
Yeah, come on.
It's a very good idea.
Let's actually talk about the premise of the game. We probably should. I was interested.
The bit I did.
The actual thing. So, I mean, I was interested because PC Gamers said, it seems like a sci-fi Monkey Island. I don't know if that's quite accurate.
Yeah,
but, no.
No, it's odd because as a game, it straddles quite a weird place, I think.
Yeah.
It's not LucasArts adventure style necessarily. We had this, Ben There Dan That was thrown together, right? Just as a joke.
Yeah.
And we got to the end of the development of that, making that game, and we realized what a pig's ear we'd made of the design of it, because it is very straightforward, A to Z. There's no backtracking. It's just jokes. There's loads of dialogue. Anyway, and then so Time Gentleman Please came around. We did a sequel to get better and better, and we very carefully made sure we put lots of backtracking in and clever uses of previous environments and stuff. And people prefer the first one. Right? People don't really want that. I think things have changed. When I was a kid playing point-and-click adventure games, that was value for money.
Yes.
Right? Being stuck on an adventure game and wandering around aimlessly looking for what the puzzles were was gameplay.
The point. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's 2025, and I don't know about you, but I don't have the patience. No. I don't have the time or the patience for it necessarily anymore. So Earth Must Die was designed more with an intent of it being, I don't want to say visual novel because that's not right, but it is more fast-paced.
Yeah.
Through straight through.
I think that's what people want now, though.
It's lighter on puzzles. There's still what I would consider adventure game puzzles in it, but there is no inventory, so everything is through dialogue or ordering other people. So instead of picking up an object and using it elsewhere, you order another person to go and do that thing for you.
Yes, because
Right.
I was going to ask about that. I played a bit of the demo and this order mechanic. So I mean, the premise is essentially that you are this third child of the ruler of this empire. Your dad. I mean, you could probably sell it a bit better than I'm selling it here, but that's
No, you
that's
do
kind
it.
of the.
That's it. I mean, that's it. Like like an evil Ming the Merciless
Yeah,
style evil dictator in space.
yeah.
Um,
And you
so
decide to
you can get
invade
people.
Earth.
Your skill is basically manipulating people into doing your bidding.
Yes.
But people are obstinate and need convincing first.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the way it works. Yeah, and so the game is I don't want to say it's easy. That's not right, but it is definitely more it's fun rather than trying to trip you up with complicated puzzles and endlessly backtracking and walking around and getting stuck in endless conversations about things. Our dialogue system is quite clever. Our dialogue system flows. You get one go at a conversation rather than what we would do in Time, Gentlemen, Please and Bend There, Down That, which is that you have like 6 or 7 options and you exhaust them, right? And you work your way through
which
a
is kind of the
conversation,
traditional, like you would see in Monkey Island. Yeah,
we're much more sort of you don't have you don't get to see conversations twice if you miss a bit of information, right?
Okay.
You just get it. You run it through and you pick your options about how you want to react and behave in certain ways. And sometimes that has knock-on effects. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it has knock-on effects just within that conversation. Sometimes it can have like wider impacts in the rest of the game, but not necessarily a huge amount. But it's fun, right?
Yeah.
That was the point. It's a gag delivery system. Someone described Clockwork God as a gag delivery system, and I quite like that. It's a cannon with which to just sort of blast new experiences at you.
Yeah.
As quickly and as fun as we can.
And I guess the puzzles, if there are any sort of puzzle elements, it's in that dialogue choosing or how you order people and it's how you manipulate people, or is that fair to say?
But we keep everything kind of single scened.
Yes.
Right? So instead of having a room with like 4 doors and each of those 4 doors leads to a room with 2 other doors, we're sort of saying to you, everything you need is here. Right? You don't need to go wandering off everywhere. You've got all the stuff that you need, and it's about using the environment and using the bits and pieces around you to progress.
Yeah. And as you say, you order people rather than being like having like a verb coin and you pick up things, it's very much like you will get someone else to do that kind of for you, but it's sort of
if needed.
Yeah. If needed, it's not like you're like, I need to pick up this, so I'm ordering this person. It's
that's the thing. Free. Like, it was one of those things that was like it was a massive crux, but we just thought it was really funny that he refuses to touch anything with his hands because everything's dirty. And that was one of the things we settled on as a sort of design restriction. Which was great for like 80% of the time, and then the other 20% of the time, it's like, why wouldn't you just pick this thing up? Yeah.
But it's interesting because I think there is kind of a bit of a divergence at the moment with sort of point and click adventure games, because you're still calling it like a point and click adventure game.
Ben coined the phrase walkie-talkie, which I quite like. It's a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
You walk around and you talk to...
But not a walking simulator.
Not a walking simulator, because there's slightly more going on. It's about we use what I would consider traditional LucasArts puzzles quite frequently. There's a bit of sort of detective worky sort of thing. You've got a whole encyclopedia. There's a sort of Hitchhiker's Guide sort of thing that you can refer to and pull out new information, and in order to open up dialogue options with other people.
Oh, okay.
And that sort of stuff. So there's it's difficult to explain. We do a lot of different bits and pieces, but walkie-talkie works quite well for me.
Yeah.
Although
sorry, go on.
No. I was going to say that doesn't really cover what puzzles are in it. It's a puzzly walkie-talkie.
No, I think because I'm just interested. I'm seeing this more and more in the sort of point and click or just a general adventure game kind of discussions, where we are seeing, for example, like with Old Skies, I think some people were saying, well, there's much less kind of puzzles in that. It's a lot more about the kind of dialogue system and speaking to people, and people sort of, I don't know, just having a bit more of a discussion. What is an adventure game anymore? And should they be called kind of more narrative games and that kind of discussions? But
Yeah.
it's difficult to
I
know.
mean,
Really,
to me, it's more about respecting the player's time. I don't like it when I'm playing a game and I feel like my time isn't being respected.
yeah,
Right.
and it's through it doesn't sort of help with the game. It's just to take up time. Yeah,
Like if I'm just throwing hard puzzles at you to get the game to like 8 hours, so you feel like I can justify the cost of the money on it.
Yeah.
That doesn't sit right with me. Right? There's a lot of stuff that people have asked about how branching the narrative is.
Yeah.
Right, and what how your decisions change the story, and we toyed with that a lot at the start of development. And it sucked. It was just because again, it's not respecting the person who's given me their money. Right? If I branch the narrative so there are like 3 different endings, and you go through one of the 3, you're spending your money and you're seeing a third of the game.
Right. But isn't that good? Because
and the thing is, as well, is as far as you're concerned, there is no branching, because when you're playing it, you're seeing a linear path.
Yes,
right? You're seeing the choices you made go in a certain direction, and you're not seeing the choices you didn't make.
Yeah.
So it's not really, it's not respecting the fact that you've given me money and I'm providing you with some quality entertainment. So we try to make it. So it was really weird. It didn't hang right to me. So so the story doesn't branch. You can make changes and things happen depending on your choices, but everyone will see the same ending, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's an interesting way of looking at it, because I know some other people will be like, but then at least I get to, if I replay the game again, I can see like a different side to it, and then I'm getting more value for the money. But I don't know.
Who plays Mass Effect twice and plays it? Because the first time you have to choose a bad
Some
option.
People do, Dan.
Do you want to pat this dog or cause genocide with this entire alien race? And you go like, well, I'll play it. All right, I'll play it the same way I played it last time. It's a farce. It's a weird farce. Yeah. I don't really get it. I'd rather you just there is a lot of if you played it through twice or 3 times and picked different conversation options every time, you get different jokes and you get a different script, and characters behave to you differently, like that kind of thing. But it doesn't interest me tricking you out of your money and you only seeing a third of the art that we've had made, or like losing entire characters because you picked,
unless you play it again.
And it was about like, how do we signify to the player, if you pick this option, this guy's gonna die, or this character's not in it anymore, and if you pick this option, this character's gonna die and is not in it anymore. And how do you you're boiling down a narrative into just meaningless like bite of information. Right? It was a really weird setup, and it just didn't work. So that's why we've gone a bit more linear with it. Linear is not the right word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. There's still the choice, but it's not going to ultimately affect huge different things. And I mean, let's talk quickly about the art as well, because obviously, like you said, it's not kind of like pixel art anymore, but it is like this very beautiful, I guess, kind of more animated kind of style. But where did that kind of decision come from as well?
When we first talked about it, Mike at No More Robots, we talked about working together on it and getting some funding and all that sort of stuff, and that meant I could afford a full-time artist. So I immediately went to Tom Waterhouse, who I've known for many years. He did lots of art he did all of the art for Devil's Kiss, and he did all of the art he did the good art from Lair of the Clockwork God. Anything that's in Lair of the Clockwork God was good. It was Tom. And we talked about it and what I wanted out of it, which was somewhere between Rick and Morty and the Jetsons, I think, was our initial sort of vibe. That's something that had that sort of quite classical animation backgrounds and things like that, and as you know, that hand animated style.
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
And Tom's just incredible. He's just an astonishing artist. And immediately the first like tester stuff we did was like, we don't need to explore anything else. That's it, right? That was,
like, great.
You know, Tom said, "How about this?" And I said, "Yes." that was the end of it. And then UK Games Fund got involved. Bless them with the content fund. We went to the UK Games Fund for content fund, and they said yes, and that allowed us to hire 2 other artists, Raquel and Anna, who I hired. I know. I said to them, I need you to be able to ape Tom's style. I need some people who can do the same as Tom, which is a big ask, I realize, because Tom is so good. And they turned up and they smashed it. They absolutely smashed it. And both of them, you know, we did some testing, and they sent some stuff that was just exactly the same. So
that's great. That's
so
handy.
we had 3 artists for
for
about a year, which is a luxury I've never had before. Right? Every game I've ever made, I've had to wind up doing my own art and scrabbling around for bits and pieces and begging Tom to do me something else, and you know, and struggling to get what I need. And so having 3 of them, it was great. Just every day we had a company Slack that was just filled with delights and making each other laugh, and you know, designing alien characters is just a joy from start to finish.
No, I can imagine. Yeah. And the main character's great fun as well, because he's just, like you say, he's just a evil dictator guy.
Evil dictator guy who's just bad. He's just awful all the way through. That was the other thing. Was just, I just want to play someone. What's it like to play a game where someone is just awful?
Yeah.
All the way through. It's got that sort of like slightly Always Sunny in Philadelphia feel about it, where it's you can identify that these are not good people.
Yeah.
But it's still quite fun being along for that ride. And I think he sort of fits into that bracket.
Yeah, for sure. Now it sounds like you, even though you've kind of properly announced this quite recently, that you're pretty good way through development of this. Yeah. Is that right?
We are, yeah. It's about finding a date now, I think.
Yeah.
Really. It was weird, you know. The thing is that, I mean, you don't need me to tell you that the games industry is weird, and especially like the indie game scene is weird in entirely different ways. We had a conversation with No More Robots about. I said I didn't feel there was any point in putting a trailer out and announcing it until we had the voices in.
I
because it is so much it's presented as like a cartoon, right? As a cartoon you might watch on like Netflix or whatever. And so we made the decision you get one shot at that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we decided to record all the voice acting before thinking about a trailer. And the thing is that we were recording with such amazing people that we had to make sure this is the last thing you do, right?
Yeah.
Is record the voices for people.
Yeah.
You don't want to record the voices for everyone. I don't want to get Don Warrington in.
No.
And then realize that the puzzle, you know, something needs a tweak. His lines of dialogue need a tweak.
Yeah.
And then get him in again. Because that's, you know,
all be done,
twice the price. And I can't really afford that. So, you know, with the studio hire and everything and finding time and, you know, and then Don's off to the Caribbean again and you've lost him, right? And I can't gamble that. So you know, pretty much all the voices went in them before we started thinking about a trailer. The game was like in pretty good shape before we started thinking about a trailer. And it's now just bugs and polish and tidying things up. And you know, seeing when we got a spot, we've got to get all these wish lists up. This weird,
demos
you know, this weird little ecosystem that all games have to do this. You know, this stupid dance in the background of getting your wish lists up and releasing a demo and all the rest of it that you have to do now and before you can release a game. We've got to jump through all those hoops and all that kind of thing. So yeah, but it's I'm still, before I came on here I was fixing up bugs and a few bits and pieces, but yeah, we're there. It's good.
And I mean, do you have any idea then in terms of that date, or is it just kind of, as you say,
it's not my decision? Because one of the good things about getting No More Robots involved was that I said to them, like, this is all on you, right? I'll make the thing, but I don't want to have anything boring you can do. Right, so
that's great. I'd love to have that system.
Works for me pretty well, but like, how much is going to cost when it comes out? What the wish lists are, no clue. I say this as a joke, but also in complete seriousness, that one of the main reasons I got a publisher involved was so I wouldn't have to make the capsule images for the Steam page, which is the achievement images and all that sort of stuff. Well, setting up a Steam page is a full month's work.
Oh, it really does. Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare.
I would rather someone else took that on for me. Thanks.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But it means I'm blissfully unaware of so many important business decisions. It's joyful. They tell me if I ask, but I'm not going to ask.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll tell you about the release date, Dan.
I'm sure. I hope so.
You'll be like, oh god, it's out. Oh.
I mean, that doesn't sound that bad to me, to be honest with you. Like, just one day waking up and it's out.
Yeah. All right. Well, whenever that is, it sounds like it's relatively coming at some point soon. And really looking forward to it. Like I said, I played a bit of demo. It seems really good fun. I really like the premise, and how lovely to have all these fantastic British comedians involved as well.
Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, thank you so much. And I guess if people want to find out more about this, where's the easiest to go? I guess just the Steam page, really, or
the Steam page is the best. If you Google it, I think that just brings up. There's not many Earth Must Die.
I've heard of that. And what are you going to be doing with the rest of your day then? Just more bug fixing, or?
Yeah, I've got 2 things on my list.
Yeah.
To sort before the whole horrible process of doing a build and playing it through again for the millionth time. Much as I love all these people who have done these wonderful, wonderful voices for us, I'm fed up to the back teeth of every single line of dialogue in this game.
I think
I'm 100% sure it'd be amazing the first time you play it through, but like...
Yes, that's good. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Do you get any time to play anything yourself, or have you been playing anything recently?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to find the time these days. I've got, if I pick up a controller, my little boy comes in and says, "Oh, can I play it?" And then that's it. I'm done. But, it's quite tricky at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's.
And I'm making a game. That's
Are you? Gosh,
it takes ages, and you have to do.
I don't think you understand.
You have to do everything. It turns out you've got to do the whole.
I'm so sorry.
The whole thing, all the menus and all that, needs doing.
God.
And so
I know. Think about the menus.
The menus. Loading and saving and menus are the 2 things that I would.
No, I can imagine.
I should be outsourcing by now because every single time I.
Right. Well, in that case, I'll let you get back to the menus.
Thanks very much.
But thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.